And you grew up, did you grow up here or did you?
Yes, I lived on this farm all my life. I was brought up at the farm down there, and I went to school when I was 5, and didn't particularly like to go to school. I was dragged along to school, to the Gisborne school, went on a Bolton by Bolton bus with wooden seats, and didn't really like school. I was a farm lad. Can't really say I liked school, but I went. All I wanted to do really was come back and help on the farm, so that's how my early days of school really.
Right.
But,
and what about your brother? Was he, or your cousin, did he go to the same school? Or
yes, my cousin at the
family?
They started the same year, and we went with clogs on.
Oh, clogs on?
Clogs on, yeah. Everybody wore clogs when we went, and we were dragged along with Mary and Violet Metcalf, and that was my early school days.
Right. And so, just you mentioned the clogs. Where were the clogs be made around here?
They were little. Nearly all the children wore clogs. Little. I mean, they made little clogs for children, you know. So
yeah. Oh right, so very local.
Yeah. Oh, you could buy the clogs in any shop. Yeah.
Yeah. And clog iron.
Yeah.
So what was it like being a teenager?
Well, I was always a farm person. Never really. I mean, we never went to the pub. I was no sort of pub person, never was. I did go to the dances a bit locally, but I was always working on the farm, honestly.
You went on the bike to Clitheroe, to pictures.
Yeah?
You went on the bike, you'd take his bike.
Yeah, we went to the Young Farmers. I joined the Young Farmers when I would be 16.
No. You joined at 10 because you did the junior public speaking.
That was the only thing I ever did, was a bit of public speaking, and we actually won. And we actually went to Leeds University once. I have some picture taken of me on the steps outside Leeds University with this. I gave a speech on buying and selling of a dairy cow. You can remember that now.
Somewhere in the archives we still have that speech.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Can you remember any of it?
Yeah, we won that Yorkshire Post trophy. I have a very proud sat out on Leeds University steps with this Yorkshire Post trophy.
I think so.
Yeah.
So did they have, was it like a debating society in school?
Yeah.
And then you would compete with other schools or what?
Oh yeah, not the schools, with all the young farmers, all the young farmers, yeah.
And a team.
But there's me there with my short trousers on.
But at 10, that was quite something, wasn't it?
The debating team consisted of a junior, intermediate, that was like 10 to 15. 10 to 15 was the junior, 15 to 20 was the intermediate, and 20 to 25 was the senior. And you had 3 classes, 3 speakers, and sometimes there would be questions and answers from the judges.
Yeah.
And then it was judged after that, and Gisborne Young Farmers won the Yorkshire Post trophy, and that would be about 1952.
I must admit I had a lot of help with writing the speech. I didn't always write it myself. It was like I had a bit of help to do it. So, but it was,
There were two ladies in Gisborne Young Farmers who were very good at it, and they would help to coach you and teach you how and write the speeches.
Yeah.
So what sort of, I mean, I hear a lot about young farmers.
Yeah.
It seems to be a hugely important part of a contribution to young people's lives.
In my opinion, it's the best thing that the country districts ever had, because I always still think farmers' sons should marry farmers' daughters, and far better if they've been in the young farmers. So I still think that to this day.
So it's like an arranged marriage.
Definitely, yes, it's a bit of an arranged system, and I think it works as well. So
why would that be better than how things are now, with more sort of transport and young children getting out and meeting other people?
Yeah, but I see what goes on now. there's nothing wrong with marrying a farmer's daughter that knows what they're going to let themselves in
Yeah,
for.
well, that's a point.
Because,
There was a man called Horton Fawkes. He was a Yorkshire landowner, and he once said that the Young Farmers Movement nationwide was the best marriage bureau there could be.
Oh,
it is.
Yeah.
And yes, we went to. You did a lot of pig judging with Gisborne Young Farmers.
Right.
You did that, didn't you?
I went to Smithfield once, yeah. So
Yes,
yeah.
went to Smithfield.
What's that, a day out with the...
No, that was the judging pigs with the young farmers.
Judging pigs, and you would start off, on the judging competitions, you would start off at the club level, then you would go to area level, then you would go to county level, and if you won through at county, then you went through to national level.
Yeah.
And you won through 3
I did quite a bit of stuff. The other thing that we once did, when I was 16, 17, 18, me and a lad over there, which was actually my best man, we went to Butlins every year. Lads, 2 lads together. Whoa. And we went Piley, Skegness, and then one time we went to Clacton, and we were both country goby lads that didn't really know town at all. And we went down on the train to London to Euston, and we had to cross over to Liverpool Street, and somebody said, "Oh, get a taxi." Anyway, there were no taxis, they were just not available. So we asked somebody, and they said, "Oh, down there on the tube, this and this, you'll soon be across." And we got down this big escalator into the depth of the earth, and I was looking on the signs. Had Henry Taylor behind me, and I looked around and he wasn't coming. I said, "Come on, Henry, you'll have to come. I can't do with this. This is all too far much for me." And this is, we did finally get there, but by Jove, I've mentioned it to Henry a few times. He says, "Oh no, that was no use to me." He said, "In London on the tube."
Just completely overpowered.
It was just still overpowered because we'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah, and there'd be a lot of people about.
Oh yeah.
Compared with home.
Oh yeah.
I can remember that day.
Yeah. and it's a long time since now. You and I went to London on a 3-day break, and this hotel we were staying in, one entrance took you straight out onto Victoria Station. So up, because being country people, up early in the morning, we went out and watched the station. And they were coming up the steps from one side and then going down an escalator, up an escalator, or out to a taxi. And they all looked like they'd had their heads in a flower bag because they were dead white, and carrying the coffee cups as they walked along.
Like ants in an ant thing. I thought they
Not
were.
like ants on patrol.
No, so, you know.
No, I think country people...
They don't know how lucky we are.
No, we don't. We don't.
So the one thing I remember though with young farmers too, I think when we were talking to the Wellocks from Seat Farm, I think they mentioned that that's where you met them at Young Farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I met the wife in. My dad was a friend with her father's, and they used to talk to one another in the market. Anyway, they must have decided to come and visit our house. So this is when we were about 19, wasn't it?
Yes.
Elizabeth and her brother came one night to the farm.
With mother and father?
Yeah. And anyway, this was all fine and everything. When they went home, Elizabeth said to her mother, "Well, I won't be going there again." "Why was that?" she said. "They haven't even a proper toilet." So, because she'd come from a modern house, and so anyway, there must have been something around. There was a county rally at Harrogate, so I would pluck up courage to ask her to go, and so I think things flourished a little bit after that. So,
So can you remember your first date?
Yeah.
That was it.
That was at the county rally at Harrogate, on the Yorkshire Showfield ground.
And the thing about it was, I was new on the circuit, if you know what I mean by that. Because we get to Harrogate, and then there was the rally during the day with all the competitions, and then at night, in one of the buildings belonging to it was all at the Harrogate Showground, there was a big dance. So of course, when you're new on the circuit, every lad wants to dance with you. And I had more dance partners that night than some thick, and I thought, who am I going on with?
Oh, you hadn't made up your mind by then?
Well, I had to go back with him because he brought us. But you when you were new on the circuit like that, and the other thing about being a town girl like
she was a Downie. She came from Bamber Bridge, which is...
I only lived 3 miles out of Preston Town Centre, as the crow flies. I was so close to town. I wore town clothes, and the first function I came to with Bennett up here was a 21st birthday party, and it was held at the Coronation Hotel. And I said to my mother, well, Mother said, you'll have to have a dress. So we went into Preston and I bought what was known as a Susie Wong dress, and it was a straight dress with a little
collar.
Yeah,
and
a split up the side. But this one had an underskirt with it, so it's all out of the split, but it had an underskirt. And I went to this gym with Benny, you see. So going to the Coronation Hotel, there'd be some 100 and odd people there. All the other girls were in the nice party dresses, you know, full skirts as they wore them, with the nets and tulle and all the rest of it. And I'm there in this straight Susie Wong, and you stick out like a sore thumb. I felt very conspicuous, I tell you. But that was the difference between town and country. And as Bennett said, I was used to modern conveniences because the farmhouse that belonged to the farm my mother and father had been condemned in the 1930s, so that a brand new one had been built. And with this brand new one, it had all mod cons. It had electric lights, proper sanitation, and everything you could think of, you see. So of course, being out here in the country, because electricity didn't come here to us from 1951-52. So they had generators and oil lamps and the usual. The pot that went under the bed, and I wasn't used to that.
So I'm fascinated though what wasn't a proper toilet.
There was an earth closet.
Oh, I was going to say, would it be?
Yes, an earth closet.
Because I mean, it was quite primitive down at the farm until when the electricity came in.
Well, about 51.
So I was 13 when electricity came.
No, it wouldn't be about quite 13, but never mind.
Yeah, it was 12 maybe.
Yeah.
And but up to then it was lamps, Caligas, and we had a generator, and you'd sort of be sat. Obviously no telly or anything like that, but you'd be sat there, and then all of a sudden the light would sort of, it was only a dim light anyway, and it would sort of go down and down and down, and then we'd have to go out, and sometimes the belt that drove the generator would break. And then somebody had to go and mend the belt before they could get the thing going again. And then it ran out of petrol and all this going on. So that's what you had to put up with every night.
Yeah.
So you had to do some of your courting under flickering lights.
Oh yeah,
Gas lamps and
of course
oil lamps.
Going out 3 years. We got
my dad always had a decent car. All my life he had, I don't know why he had a car that, and I never had my own car. I always...
you only had one for the family, didn't you?
Only had one car, and I would use the car. And he got past my test when I was 16, and so I could drive, quite a while. I once remember one of my 9 lives, Rufus Carr up the village had three nice daughters. And they would want to ride, and I would cart them about a bit, and I would take them to a dance at Newton one night. They weren't going with me. I mean, they'd be going to meet other boyfriends probably, but I'm going over Wannington Fell in my dad's car, a big rover it was, going far too fast, over the top of the fell, and this thing went off the road, and round on the top. And I've been a lot since then where I actually went that night, and there was a 50-foot drop over the edge of there, and I got it back on the road again, and we all staggered. You know, we were all right, but after you think, heck, that was one of my 9 lives gone.
Yeah.